doing some facial cupping and facial gua sha, or just get started with it. And of course, always the safety is the most important. So also in my presentation, which is the start before the practical part, I want to really focus on the safety, contraindications, and then therapeutic effects that you can achieve with facial cupping and gua sha. So let's start with cupping. Maybe you already tried some body cupping or facial cupping with massage, or you know, but you didn't really quite get the difference. You know, what is the therapeutic benefit of the cupping other than, let's say, muscle release or some improved blood circulation? Maybe that's all that you know it can do. But we all know that how cupping works if you have tried, right? So you have a cup, something like this. Sometimes it can be bigger. We will look at some other examples of what the cups look like, where the pressure is applied either by squeezing the cup or introducing a fire into the cup so that the skill can be pulled into the cup, and that creates some kind of biomechanical and physiological effect. So one of that is increased peripheral blood flow and circulation, but it also affects your immune system, and that affects how some genes are expressed, which can have a lot of therapeutic benefits for variety of syndromes and diseases. And I want to emphasize probably the best or most important benefit for both cupping and gua sha is increased in the pain threshold and lowering the inflammation. And inflammation is, of course, very general term, but it can work for things like acute infection as well as chronic infection. So let's say you were a cancer patient, and you know, after cancer, your body still has a lot to do to recover. There's a lot of damage caused by radiation or the chemotherapy that the body has to recover, and it's causing pro-inflammatory situation in the body that can negatively affect your organ function, your energy, etc., your health. And the gua sha and cupping can greatly help in reducing even that type of inflammation. It also improves the metabolism. That's why it's helpful for some even organ diseases. And mostly it also can regulate the cellular mechanism. So it can sometimes activate your body, and sometimes it can actually deactivate your body. It can inhibit certain things, but it will regulate it in the end. So let's look at some types of cupping that we use in Chinese medicine. And there are really, there's a variety of them, as you can see. So they are made of plastic, glass, even bamboo, rubber, silicone, you name it. Obviously, the newer materials are from the modern era, and you know, glass or bamboo comes from maybe a long time ago. And there are different cups in terms of size and also in terms of the shape, depending on which part of body you want to apply it, how much pressure you want to use.
Lucia, Lucia, yeah, I think they're not seeing the screen sharing, so hold on 1 second and let me get that set up, okay? Okay, so there we go.
Let's move to the next slide. Right, so on this slide you can see, you know, examples of cups. On the very top picture, there are silicone cups that are used often also in facial cupping. The first pink ones on the left side are for body, and then on the right side, the pair of the pink ones, it's for the face. Then below that is a picture, just example of a bamboo cups that are also used mostly on the body, and then glass cups, which can be used both on your face and also on your body. And then depending on what you want to use it for, what the purpose is, you choose the size. And the glass cups are often used in stroke rehabilitation as well for something like facial paralysis, and it's very effective. And then there are more examples of facial cups. So you can see the cups with a blue kind of balloon. Those are squeeze cups that can be also used for facial cupping. And then below that, it's an example of like an automatic pump cupping. When you have a machine or with your hand, you can manually pump the cups to get the suction. So just a few examples. And then there are different sets of cups for women sometimes, and then different for men, because men have, different skin from women. They have different muscle mass, so it all makes a difference how much pressure you need to apply to achieve the therapeutic effect. So let's look at some indications of cupping. For body, it's often used for relieving pain, right? That's the musculoskeletal application, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, but it can also greatly help with headaches or migraines. Also knee pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, neuralgia, but even with systemic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, ulcers, a lot of gastrointestinal problems. Cupping can be used also on the abdomen, and in fact, it often is in Chinese medicine, but also skin conditions like psoriasis, snake bites, and even for painful menses. And for face, the benefits are many, but which I am sure every woman would like to get all of them. So especially today, we have to wear the mask almost every day, and this creates a lot of puffiness because things are just not moving. There is this artificial barrier that is squeezing your skin. So cupping can help to reduce puffiness and also dark circles around your eyes. If you have insomnia, if you are tired, and then also it can detoxify your skin through lymphatic drainage. It can also improve the cellular metabolism, which means that the cells are turning over at faster rate, which improves the collagen growth. Also, it can improve the skin elasticity, and it also can be used to improve the superficial blood flow circulation. And then it also can help with the relaxation of the facial muscles, which often cause the wrinkles, right? Especially the expression wrinkles. You have a lot of tension in your jaw, or maybe some people in the forehead or even around your ears. Definitely it's going to affect how the lymph is working on your face, how well it can detoxify, and that will also show on your face. So good news with cupping, with different size of facial cups, we can remove or reduce visibly the crown wrinkles and also the expression wrinkles. So what are some contraindications for cupping? I think this is really important to know if we are to apply cupping safely. So we never want to use cups, whether it's on the face or other parts of the body, over the arteries, veins, some lesions, skin lesions, especially blisters. We don't want to use them over varicose veins, open wounds, or if you had some fractures, bone fractures. And absolutely not if you're a cancer patient or if you are pregnant. Also, if you are a constitutionally weak person who had gone through a lot of chronic illness or even suffered some organ failure or have severe anemia or hemophilia, or you are prone to bleeding, easy bleeding, or if you are on blood thinners, maybe because you have a heart disease, or you're trying to reduce your cholesterol and you don't want to use cupping when you are on anticoagulants. Even if you are taking NSAID drugs, even you are taking them for a short time, at that time you should not be using cupping at all. It's really risky, and absolutely not if you are epileptic or may have seizures or have even high fevers. Any of these kind of conditions are contraindicated for cupping. And even though the cupping has a great number of benefits, there are some adverse events that can still happen even though you are healthy, and cupping therapy may be suitable for you. So some of them are preventable adverse events and some of them are not. And those preventable are obviously something we can control, like infection. And that would be also some example of that would be pruritus. Anemia into a certain extent that can happen, especially, you know, when you really don't eat before. You have some low glucose levels that it can happen with cupping. And then infection, panniculitis, that's more, it's rarer, but it can still happen. And then non-preventable dizziness, headaches, vasovagal attack, nausea, and sometimes insomnia, especially when you use cupping just before you sleep. Maybe you want to do it a little bit earlier in a day. So how to do it? Let's review some procedures and the flow. So what do we need? For facial cupping, some of you may have already a cupping set. You need obviously cups. So usually there are, just like on the picture, I like to use this style of cups because they are easy to squeeze and they are fairly easy to move. And they don't create too much suction. So you can kind of control the pressure well enough without creating too much suction. And then you need facial oil, but can be also aromatherapy oil, or if you don't like oils, you can use lotion as well. But I think oil works much better than a lotion. And in terms of method, we always want to slide the cups. You never want to leave cup sitting in one place because you will cause bruising and you may have some adverse events. And definitely if you cause bruising, that bruise from the cup mark is not going to go away instantly. You may have it even for several weeks, and you won't be able to hide it, putting makeup on or doing anything else. It will just stay there until the body takes care of it. So never leave the cups in one place. You have to slide them, you have to keep moving. And you don't want to put cups over the major vessels and veins, especially in your neck, or just let it sit over the lymphatic node. And so I have looked through some videos also online. You know, there are so many these days. Gua Sha or cupping is very popular. What procedures those practitioners use, and unfortunately, they don't always emphasize or even go over the safety and adverse events, and they don't use sometimes the tools properly. So before you start, of course, you should clean your face and hands, and then activate the lymphatic system. You don't need to slide cups up and down your lymphatic vessels in the neck. You can just simply use a gentle massage to start pumping, because lymphatic system is, as you know, doesn't have actually like a blood vessel pressure, doesn't have a pump. So you need to help the lymphatic vessel to start pumping. So it needs to be stimulated at the nodes so the drainage can happen. If you don't do the lymphatic massage prior, or you don't stimulate the nodes prior to facial cupping, you won't achieve the desired effect into the same extent. And so it's very important to do the things in the right order to get the benefit of facial cupping. And then you apply the oil, and basically you start sliding the cups always from the center of the face to the sides, and also from the bottom up. So you always want to start to more center of your body, because that's how the lymphatic system works. That's how the lymph flows. You stimulate always more the nodes that are more medial and they are more central to the body, and then you work your way out. And basically, you can use two methods to apply facial cupping, either sliding or what I call puffing or squeezing the cup. And then after you complete facial cupping, you drink a glass of water, because we are stimulating the lymphatic system mostly, and so you will definitely get dehydrated or dizzy, and you want to flush out all the toxins that you released from the tissues on your face. So I would like to show you the cups and the technique. So maybe Janine can, for now, stop the PowerPoint presentation so you can see. So basically, I have, this kind of cup. This is the bigger cup. There are all kinds of colors, doesn't really matter. But it's important to know that if you use a cupping set, don't share it with anyone else. You just use this for yourself, especially if you have a silicone cups or you have a plastic cups. There are easily scratches when you use them in the cup, and so you don't want to share them with someone else, because even if you clean them, you won't be able to clean them well enough, and you want to avoid infection as much as you can. So you don't share your cups, and even the silicone cups like these, you should really rotate them through, throw them away maybe after 2 or 3 months and get a new set. It's just cleaner, it's much cleaner, and then it's better for your skin. So, and this is a small one, it's very tiny, which you can use around your eyes or mouth. It's much less pressure, and you use it on the areas basically where the skin is thinner. And we all know that facial skin is already thin, much thinner than on our body, and especially around the eyes. And when you are already in more advanced age, the skin is even thinner. And so you don't want to use too much suction, and then you don't want to use too much pressure, because that actually is going to also damage your skin. So how you start? You start with the main lymph node station in this supraclavicular area. So you just pump like this very gently. So if I position myself to the side, you basically have the fingers perpendicular to the clavicular bone, and you just press. You press down, and you slightly stimulate your lymphatic node station around your neck. And you start here because you have to start the bottom to get the drainage going. So this is a pump, so your body is getting signal that okay, the lymphatic circulation needs to wake up now, and everything is going to flow down. And because our face, it's already on the top, and so the gravity is helping you to move the lymph down. So you don't need to stimulate too much. You just have to kind of signal your body that, okay, something is gonna happen. I have to move the lymph out. And then you massage around your neck. So again, you just kind of squeeze very gently. You don't apply too much pressure, not like you are getting deep tissue massage, you know, more is better, not like that. Just gently, you stimulate this area around your neck, and you go up and you stimulate the lymph nodes around your chin, because these ones are draining basically the toxins from around your mouth and chin. And then you go up, you have a lot of lymph nodes around your ears and around the mandibular bone, so around your jawline. So you just keep pressing, you stimulate. And then you go to the side in front of your ear. There are a lot of lymph nodes around here, which are draining your eyes and forehead around here. So you massage, you just pump like that, for maybe like 1 to 2 minutes. That's good. And then you don't want to forget behind your ear, because there is a drainage from your scalp. So if you have some blockages also in your neck and you didn't pump it, even though you start massaging your face, nothing is gonna move out, because you just didn't help the circulation. So you massage around your ears, the back of the ears. And after you massage yourself, then you can apply the face oil, which I already did, so I won't apply it, but you know, simple oil, just using maybe four to 5 drops. That's all you need to spread the oil, and then give yourself a little massage when you do it by lifting. So you do some facial lifting before you start towards the lymph nodes here. So you just kind of pull out and then try to massage like this. It really feels good. And then you start cupping. So you start on the bottom of your face, and you put the cup on your face and you squeeze, so the skin gets into the cup, pulled into the cup. And then once it's there, you slide it all the way in front of your ear. And you slide it maybe at least 5 times. And you can do a little bit more. It's all up to you how much drainage you want, how strong you want it to be. And then you move a little bit higher, and you squeeze the cup, and then you slide it across your face, always from the center out. You don't do this at all, never. It's always pulling your skin out. So as you pull it, actually the lymph starts moving slowly, and lymph is really just below your skin. So you don't want to use too much pressure, because you will hit the muscle and then the lymph doesn't move. You will be working on your muscle and not on your lymph. And then you start around your nose, the nasal area, and then around your cheekbones. And again, you put the cup, you squeeze it, and then just slide it across. And you can maybe see my skin is already kind of turning red, that the circulation is improving. And then once you complete this area, you can put the cup here. So you squeeze and pull the skin down. So you help the lymph that basically flew to the lymphatic node to go down, and so that it can move out from the body. It needs to come to this node to move out from the face and neck. So you squeeze around here in front of the ear and you just pull. And you don't need to do anything with your neck. You just do this 5 times minimum. That's good enough. And you then repeat the same thing on the other side. So for the area in, below your eye, the skin gets thinner, so we cannot use this size cup. This is too much pressure. And instead, we use our mini cup, this very, very small cup, smaller than my finger. And basically, again, you squeeze, you start at the bottom, a little bit below your eyeball, and you move this, slide the cup towards the corner of the eye, and you can do this again at least 5 times. And then you can change the method. So instead of sliding, you can use just puffing. So you will be squeezing the cup and removing it quickly. So basically, like this. Maybe you can hear the popping sound. So the skin is just pulled in, I quickly removing it. I'm not doing this and leaving it there for too long. That you don't do that. So you just puff this area. Well, that is really great for the collagen growth and removing your wrinkles. And you go like this as many times as you like. You will start feeling very refreshed after a couple of times of doing this. And then the small cup is also used around the top of the eye. So you start in the middle, and again you can just slide it like this, so at least 5 times. And then you can puff around your eyebrow like that. And then you can use your big cup again, but this may be quite challenging to use on the forehead because it really depends how much skin or how thin the skin is. So sometimes it takes a few times to really get skin in. It's not that
21 by 47 or 21 by 59.
So on the forehead, you move up through the center, and then again you go laterally towards the lymph node to pull all the lymph from the forehead down like this, at least 5 times again. And once you are done with that, you can give a boost to your also lips and try to work on reducing your facial, expression wrinkles and the small wrinkles around your mouth. But will also greatly help to plump up your lips if you just do a few minutes with a small cup. So here it's kind of difficult to slide. You can't really easily slide because the skin is not as thin as other areas of the face. So here you just puff it like this until your skin starts turning red. So that way the blood circulation is increasing, and that's the effect we want. So you keep squeezing and you will have this pop sound, and you do the same thing at the bottom, like this. And so that's half of the face, and after that you do the second half exactly the same way. You start from the bottom, and you go you go up, always from the medial to the lateral side, all the way to your forehead. And at the end, you can again just do a little bit of massage to help the pump, the lymphatic pump. And at the end, just drink a glass of water to make sure all the toxins move out. So that's briefly about facial cupping, how you can do it, and the procedures. And then we can look at the Gua Sha. So let's go back to our PowerPoint. Janine?
Is it not showing?
No.
Okay, hold on a minute. There we go.
Okay, so Gua Sha, although it's very similar to facial cupping, has some little bit a different mechanism how it works, because obviously the technique is different. We are using stroking or effleurage, which if we do Gua Sha on the body, you will get appearance of a small petechiae, like red spots that fade away quickly after the treatment. And that's indication of microperfusion. And Gua Sha is actually even stronger than facial cupping. You can achieve something like 400% increase in microperfusion. So I'm not an esthetician, so I cannot really compare to other products or methods that you can do, but I think this is a very strong effect from Gua Sha. It's just from the stroking, but of course on the face, we don't want to use the same amount of pressure as on the body. And so you will rarely see any petechiae on the face. And actually you don't want that at all, because then you are breaking the small vessels. You know, you don't want to damage your skin. So we won't see that on the face with Gua Sha on the face. So Gua Sha also increases the blood circulation, and reduces the inflammation as well. But surprisingly, maybe you don't know, it can even decrease inflammation in a chronic illness. Especially it's very effective for liver disease. So if you have hepatitis or alcoholic liver, or maybe you had a lot of viral infections, then Gua Sha is really helpful even as a supportive therapy. And Gua Sha also helps to regulate your nervous system. So if you are too anxious or nervous, the Gua Sha can downregulate your nervous system. And also if you are too tired and maybe your parasympathetic nervous system is too, I would say, dominant, then also it can activate your nervous system. So, and it also promotes a metabolic repair. And this is the next point is probably the most important. It breaks up fascia very well, so that cupping cannot really do. So that's why this is an additional benefit. You will get Gua Sha on your face, because not only you are working on your lymph, but you can break up some fasciolations and maybe some nodules in the fascia of the skin, which sometimes can be an obstacle to good blood flow. It's not that you are not taking good care of your skin. Maybe you have some physical blockages on the under your skin, which cannot be broken up. So no matter what you are applying or what you are eating, still there may be some issues because there is physical block that needs to be removed, and the Gua Sha for this is really excellent. So, and Gua Sha can be also used for athletes, you know, for muscle recovery. It's very effective. You can more than double your muscle recovery right after exercise if you do just 10 minutes of Gua Sha. So indeed, many professional athletes use it quite often. So let's look at some tools. There are so many different shapes and sizes and materials that are used with Gua Sha, and this is just to give you an example, although probably the most popular shape and that you will see is the one on the left side, the rose quartz, right? It's very popular, and or jade, the green one. Also just a flat Gua Sha tool that is very popular. And then less frequently you will see the other shapes that can be also used as acupressure device for acupoints that you can use together with Gua Sha on your face for therapeutic benefits. And then sometimes they will sell you Gua Sha tool even with roller, but the roller is not a really Gua Sha tool. It's just a roller, and it doesn't work like Gua Sha stone. So although it's sold together, it's not Gua Sha. It's just a kind of a massager, which really feels nice. And I'll also show you the roller, but it's not the Gua Sha, and it doesn't have the same therapeutic effect. So let's look at the indications for Gua Sha. As I said before, you know, you can use it on your body, and similarly to cupping, Gua Sha is great for pain. So good for headaches, migraines, especially for neck and shoulder pain. But also what is Gua Sha better at is some acute inflammation. So if you get fever or flu, maybe just a session of Gua Sha will take it away, and you don't need to take even medicine. And as I mentioned earlier, good for chronic inflammation like liver disease, and even for breast distension or mastitis, menopausal symptoms, because Gua Sha can really cool you off just from the stroking. It can really remove a lot of heat from the body, and good for upper respiratory infections. So if you have asthma, cough, bronchitis, Gua Sha can be very helpful. And this is already documented by the research. And cellulite is still not 100% confirmed by the research, but maybe we will have more evidence that is also really effective for that. So for face, just like facial cupping, Gua Sha can reduce the puffiness and the dark circles around your eyes, but can also do the lymphatic drainage, but stronger, because actually with Gua Sha we can stretch the skin more, which helps the lymph to move better than just when we pull the skin into the cup. We really want to stretch the skin, so that's why actually Gua Sha's effect is stronger than facial cupping. So if that's why you want to use Gua Sha, it's for lymphatic drainage, I recommend you to use Gua Sha versus facial cupping. It's more effective. And then also you will still get the same benefit like from facial cupping in terms of the improved local and superficial blood flow. And that means also changes in the cell structure to build your collagen, improve elasticity, and also tone and sculpting. And also muscle relaxation for reducing the lines, especially expression lines. And then an additional benefit of Gua Sha would be also acne breakout reduction, and the frequency of the breakouts will reduce with Gua Sha. And some contraindications, absolutely no if you have a chronic infectious disease, or if you have persistent high fevers, you don't want to use Gua Sha for high-grade fever. And also when you have arthritic problems, then the Gua Sha is not really indicated. And acute abdominal symptoms, we don't want to use Gua Sha. And again, for any kind of bleeding, internal bleeding, no Gua Sha. And also we have to be cautious with children and the elderly and those with a weak constitution. And also not recommended to use Gua Sha for pregnant women, and also not when you are on your menses. So this is a bit controversial because Gua Sha can be helpful for regulating your menses, but it's not really recommended to do it while you are on the menses. And then similarly, like cupping, we don't want to use Gua Sha tool over major arteries and veins around the body orifices and around the bone fractures, or if you have a DVT, deep vein thrombosis, then absolutely no. So how do we use Gua Sha? What do we need? What kind of tools? So we need a Gua Sha tool. It's very simple. Facial oil again, just like for facial cupping. And then the method is only scraping. Here, what is important is the angle of the Gua Sha tool so that you really stretch your skin and get the effect. And you should never really scrape around your neck, especially the lymph nodes and the large vessels. And again, before you start, you want to clean your face and hands and then activate the lymphatic system with pumping, just like we did with the facial cupping. And apply oil, and then you are ready to stroke. And after you are done, then you have to disinfect your tools. And I think forgot to mention with a facial cupping, you want to always wash your cups and Gua Sha tools with hand soap first, and then you can use disinfectant. I recommend to use a spray if you can. Or you can use a UV light as well. You don't need to buy a UV sanitizer. I will show you, you can buy just like a hand UV light sanitizer, which will kill most of the bacteria in 1 minute or less. So let's get to it, and let me show you the tools. So you may have seen something like this. This is a Gua Sha tool from actually a horn, and you would not ever use this on your face. First of all, it's too big. So for face, you want to use a smaller Gua Sha tool. So everybody has different type of the face, different size, different shape. So that will determine also the tool you want to use that would work the best for you. So if you use something like this big, right, I can really stroke easily, and because I'm going to use too much pressure where the skin is thin and damage it, and then maybe not enough pressure where I need more pressure here. So you want a smaller tool, something like this. So this is made of jade, right? Maybe this is more common shape, like this. You usually use the flat side or a little bit rounded side on the skin, and then where you have this little bump, you use it along the bone. So it can be the jawbone or your nose, or you can use it as a massage tool to stimulate the lymph node. That is what those bumps are for. And also you can use this area, the top, for the eyes, or you can use it along this bone again, the eye bone, because it perfectly fits. And then you get to massage basically above your eyelid and also the sinuses. So that is great. There are different shapes, so you may want to, maybe you found something like this. Yeah, so for for different use, there are very different shapes of Gua Sha tools. But my absolutely favorite one is this one, which is can be used also as an acupressure device, because this is very well shaped. I'm not sure if you can see it really well, to fit different shape of your face. So it's not just flat. So that's why the amount of pressure you apply is going to be more evenly distributed across the face, and you will feel a lot more comfortable because it's contouring the bones than if you used flat Gua Sha tool, which I know these are very easy to get, the flat ones, but this one is very difficult to find in United States, unfortunately. I try to look, but it's not so easy to find one. And you can also use something very small, like this. I have a ginkgo leaf shape, which is used also in Japanese traditional medicine for children. You can use this for your eyes because you really need a very, really fine pressure. You don't press here hard at all. And we mentioned there are the rollers, right? The rollers. Again, these are not Gua Sha tools. It's just a massager. But if you are a woman that has maybe a lot of menopausal syndromes, you feel often hot or sweaty. Actually, these are very handy because any stone, especially jade stone, will cool you down. So you will really feel instantly when you apply this, cooled off and refreshed without doing anything else. Much cooler than even drinking water. So if you are one of those women running hot, this may be handy before you start Gua Sha. You can just massage your face with the roller. And then you see there is a bigger roller, and then there is a smaller roller. So the smaller roller is used for the area around your eyes. And the bigger one you can use somewhere else on the larger area. And again, the direction of the tool is always from the center to the side. And then once you bring the lymph to the side and you stretch your skin, you move it down. So
Lucia,
mm-hmm.
we're coming up to about 5 to 4 here, so we probably need to kind of finish up. And maybe if anybody has any questions that they'd like to ask, now would be a great time to do that.
Yeah, so let me show you how to apply the Gua Sha tool. So just like with a facial cupping, you start with the lymphatic massage. So I already did it, so you saw it. I don't need to repeat that. And then how to use the Gua Sha tool. It has to be flat. You can't use it this way. You will damage your skin and face. So it has to be flat like that. And then the purpose is to stretch the skin, not to massage it. You just stretch it. So if I do this, it's perfectly flat. And then I just pull towards the lymph node, and then you can massage. So you use, now I turned the Gua Sha tool so it's vertical because here is the area I want to massage, so I massage a little bit. And then it's flat, and you stretch, and you massage. So what you don't want to do is to scrape like this. It's kind of dangerous because there are a lot of important vessels, so you don't want to use much pressure there at all. So just avoid the neck. Although you will see online maybe the videos telling you should scrape it, I recommend not to do it, and you just do the lymphatic pump. And then for the area around your eyes, also, just like with a facial cupping, exactly the same steps. you put it completely flat and very gentle pressure. You just feel like your skin is stretching like that. So you don't put any additional force. You just try to stretch it. That's totally enough. And then you can use this on your nose like this. And then you can use this around your eyes. So you, in this case, because we are sculpting the face, you can have it more vertically because you need it to have it more vertically for the bone. And then the same goes for your chin. You kind of lock it and then you sculpt it all the way. It just follows the tool. There is a good enough gap, so you do this way. And then for the forehead, make it flat and then pull up, up like this, and then to the side like this. So that's basically the procedure for the Gua Sha. So any questions, please address them to Janine, or I'm not sure if.
All that has to happen is you just unmute and then they can ask the questions.
Hi,
Okay.
I had a question. Hi, I had
Hi.
a question.
Sure.
Hi, I thought that was excellent. Thank you. Two questions. Are you going to offer people that participated this recording so we can review it?
I think
Did
so.
you
I think
that would be amazing. Thank you. And then can we buy these tools from you? Do you have a resource to buy some of these?
So for a facial cupping on Amazon, the good company is Lure, L-U-R-E. They specialize in all kinds of cups, but they only make silicone cups, but they are good enough. Lure. I think they are really, really good. And usually those cups come with instruction manual too for some basics. They don't give you the precautions, but instructions how you need to stroke. So you will get that if you buy from them. If you buy from someone else, it may be cheaper, but you will just probably receive the cups. And in terms of the quality of the cups, it's silicone, so it's not really different. It's just branding, so you don't need to spend too much money. It won't make difference in the material. It's the same, just different logo really on it.
And the body Gua Sha, the bone tool that you had, same thing, Amazon? Is that
on
called
Amazon.
Something in particular?
Yeah, and then also for the stone tools, I think Senspa has the rose quartz.
We do. Here's the rose quartz that we have. Oops.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and so that's $20 for the rose quartz that we have, and it's fairly small.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I look forward to your video. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And how often do you suggest people do this?
You don't do this every day. I think every maybe 3 days. So maximum 3 times a week. I wouldn't do it more often. And then always you need to remember you have to hydrate. So ideally, even before you start this, drink a glass of water, and then after as well. So the first glass of water, it's gonna help you to have more fluid in, so you will easily move the toxins out, and the second cup is just will flush everything away. Okay. So just drink when you do this a lot.
And then the second question is, when life gets back to normal, whatever that turns out to be, do you actually provide services at Senspa?
That's a question for Janine.
Okay. But I love how you explain why, we're doing what we're doing. So
yeah.
Dr. Kajima here is working with Senspa, and we are just before we close down to launch her acupuncture and cupping and Gua Sha services. And so once we get going, we will offer those. Yes, we would.
Good. Okay. Looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yes. Thank you very much. This is good.
You're welcome. Any other questions, anyone? Maybe on the quick note, I can just tell you one important thing about the Gua Sha tool. You may find a lot of fake ones. If you're really interested in benefit of the mineral as well in the tool, you don't want just a plastic one, which will do, but you know, if you care about it, even though it is green looking, it doesn't mean it's made of jade. So the jade Gua Sha tool has to contain you know, certain type of mineral. Usually it's nephrite to be a pure jade, and usually the tool is priced more than $20. If it's something cheaper than $20, definitely you are buying something that is not a true jade stone.
Got it.
So ideally, if you buy the Gua Sha tool, you care about the mineral, the good quality. It has to have certificate. It says there is a certificate that this is actually the real deal stone, whether it is quartz or whether it is jade. Usually it has to have certificate.
Good.
Okay. But you can also look around on Alibaba.com, although it's a Chinese company. But they may have more Gua Sha tools because, you know, it's in Chinese culture. So the women there in China, they use it a lot more than women here. So they have a lot more variety of shapes. So you may want to check it out. I have a good experience with the vendors there. I didn't really have any scam. Never was stolen money from. So my experience with them was good.
This was good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Kajima. That was lovely.
Oh, welcome.
That was excellent. Thank you.
Welcome.
Did we lose Janine?
I don't know.
Looks like
Janine, are you there?
Yes.
Hello.
Thank you again. I have to go. Thank you.
Sure. Take care. Good to have
Appreciate it.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hello. Janine, are you there?